Hey, Angie Nelson here from theworkathomelife.com. Customer service jobs are some of the most readily available gigs in the work-at-home world. But what do you need to get started? And who hires for these positions? And what can you expect to get paid? Those are things that we are going to be covering in today's video, along with so much more. So please make sure you stay to the end of the video to find out how you can get my 7-day series on finding work at home free. Now, customer service jobs, they aren't everyone's dream job. However, when someone comes to me looking for work at home for the first time, I always recommend that they don't pass up this opportunity. Customer service jobs are some of the most readily available and often some of the quickest hires that there are in the work at home world. These jobs, there are thousands and thousands of these positions available, and they aren't all sales oriented, they aren't all customer service oriented, and they aren't always on the phone either. There's a lot of variety here, and there's something that can appeal to everyone. So I do ask that you give it a little bit of a look, even if it's something that you want to pass over right away, because you may find that there's something in here for you. Now, when we're talking about the standard requirements for remote customer service jobs, most of them are pretty much the same. If you're going to be on the phone, obviously your client is going to want you to have a quiet work environment. This isn't going to be a job that you can usually do during the day if you have little kids at home or if you have really noisy neighbors or barking dogs. They do want this to be a quiet environment so that maybe your customer doesn't know that you're actually working from home. Maybe they're still going to want them to think that you're in an office environment. So that is something that's pretty important to them. Also, high-speed internet is usually a must because you are usually, doing the work through your computer as you're on the phone. They do want to make sure that there's no hiccups there as far as maybe your internet service, has a little bump in service and you lose your connection or lose a call. Those are things that they're going to be looking for. And that's why many of them will also require that you have a landline. There are a few positions out there that will allow you to take the calls right through your computer, but most of them are going to require a landline. Also, they are going to want to make sure that you have an up-to-date system on your computer. Usually, they say that the standard there is usually about 3 years old. If your computer is over 3 years old, you may need to upgrade or have some upgrades done in order for it to work with the current software that they're using. Now, another reason that I really love customer service jobs is because these are jobs that can really provide you with a steady paycheck if you're just getting started. Many of you that are coming from a traditional 9-to-5 job want to make that transition as easy as possible. And customer service jobs, a lot of them will offer an hourly wage, and they'll also offer more in the way of full-time work for some of these positions. Now, the downside to that is going to be that there may not be the flexibility that you're looking for. If you need to really just wing it from day to day, picking up work whenever and wherever you can, customer service jobs do tend to be a little more structured. For most companies, the schedule will be released a week or two in advance, and you'll have to go in and pick up your shifts at that time. In most cases, it can get a little competitive. Usually the reps that have been there the longer will have a little bit of an advanced leeway there as far as picking up shifts. And the later you are in that game, the less chance you're going to be able to have to get the shifts that you want. And usually those are 30-minute blocks. So, but an upside to that is if you do have a day job, usually the largest demand for these positions is going to be at night and on the weekend. So it's definitely something that you should look into if you're looking for something to do to supplement your current income. Now, if you're wondering what the pay is for customer service positions, this is another reason that I really like to lean towards these jobs for newcomers, because unlike some of the things that we see with data entry and transcription, where those are really entry-level jobs, a lot of them don't even pay minimum wage either. There are a couple out there that you're looking at probably $3 an hour for your wage. That's not something that we can live on today. And because of that, customer service is something that I encourage most people to take a look at if they can swing it, because these jobs in most cases are going to be starting out anywhere from $10 to $18 an hour. Now, as I mentioned before, these positions are plentiful. We have a lot of great companies that hire for customer service remote positions, and a lot of them are going to be companies that you know. Amazon, they have a big demand for temporary seasonal positions, usually in the fall. Those start out at about $10 an hour. And those positions, as I said, they're usually temporary and seasonal, but they do usually last about 6 months, and they include an employee discount as well. American Express, they offer different types of customer service positions. Apple at Home, they offer tech support, and they do have chat positions available as well if you prefer not to be on the phone. You do need to obviously be familiar with the Apple operating systems. Another great company that you are going to want to consider is Enterprise. We have a lot of great companies that are in the travel or moving industry, such as Enterprise. U-Haul is another one that hire. And those positions are open frequently throughout the year. So keep an eye on those too. If you are a tax specialist or come from an accounting background, Intuit often hires for the tax season for their TurboTax division. Jackson-HEWITT is another company that occasionally has at-home positions available. If you are into department stores, NEIMAN-MARCUS and Williams-Sonoma are two that offer positions. Those can sometimes be more location dependent, so you'll want to make sure that you check the states there. There are some companies out there that may require on-site training for a period of maybe 6 weeks is usually about the run for that. So keep that in mind. I know at the time that I am filming this video, Williams-Sonoma is hiring for people within an hour and a half of their Las Vegas call center. So keep an eye open for some of those more local positions as well. You might find a great one that's near you. I know I'm here in Nebraska, and Hayneedle is one that hires for people here in Nebraska. There's also a hotel chain here in Nebraska that hires for at-home agents frequently throughout the year. So those are some to keep an eye on as well. Now, if we talked about background noise before, if that's going to be an issue for you, YARDI-MATRIX is one that hires a couple of seasons throughout the year. These are short-term positions, and I believe it's fall and spring, and maybe there's a winter season as well. And what those are doing is calling apartment complexes, pretending to be a potential renter, and getting information about the rentals that they have available. It's kind of like mystery shopping, but for rental spaces or apartments. So keep that one in mind. And as I said, U-Haul is another one. There are a couple of insurance companies like UNITEDHEALTH Group that hire at-home agents as well. So keep an eye open for those. I'm going to leave you a link here in the description to a huge list of these companies that hire at-home customer service reps for you to check out. And there'll be some more information within that list as far as what they're looking for and the type of jobs that they offer. So if you want to expand your reach and go beyond that list that I'm providing for you, a couple of good sites that I like to follow are Indeed. If you do a search there for work at home customer service or telecommute customer service, it will probably bring you back a lot of great leads. Another one is FLEXJOBS. That's my absolute favorite online job board, simply because they research all of their leads. Everything that they put on their site, they've looked into to make sure that it's not a scam, that it's not a business opportunity, and that it's really work at home. You aren't going to run into anything that people are trying to pass it off as work at home, but it's really not work from home. FLEXJOBS make sure that all of that stuff is off the table so you can really just focus on your applications. Now I hope after this video that maybe customer service positions from home sound a little bit more appealing for you. One thing that a person in one of my Facebook groups said recently really hit the nail on the head when she said it's all about stepping stones. A lot of work at home companies want to see that you have prior work at home experience. And that's kind of a catch-22. If you don't have work at home experience, how are you going to get work at home experience? And as she said, it's about getting that first one under your belt. She said, I took a job that I really didn't want in order to get the experience that I needed to get the next job. And I used that job as a catapult to get me the next job. And every one of them is just rungs on a ladder to get you to where you're going online. And that's something that's really important to remember if you're just starting your work at home journey. You're not marrying these jobs. The work at home world is really different from the traditional employment world out there, where your work at home job 10 years from now is not going to be what you're starting with now. What I started at 10 years ago is totally different from where I am today. It's all about, just taking the next step and taking the next step and taking the next step to get where you're going. And you may find that where you want to go eventually isn't where you're starting out, and that's totally okay. This world gives us the opportunity to try a lot of different things in a very short period of time without a big commitment. And that's something that I want you to take advantage of. These positions may not be your dream job, but they may help you get to the one that is. If you like today's video, I hope that you will give it a like and a share, and make sure you're subscribed so you get a notification of when my next video is available. Until then, I wish you most success online.